Ladies and gents, systems thinking, my favorite topic ever, and more specifically, one way in which you can increase the throughput of any system within your business or within your life. It's one that is recognized worldwide as one of the best options for helping you increase the throughput. You may have heard of it before, but before we get into this one way, I just want to first introduce those of you who are new to the channel and you may not know who I am. My name is Taylor Benturud. I founded an agency called Better AMS when I was 19 years old, and we've grown to, this year we're likely going to do about $2 million, $1.8 million in revenue. And I've learned a lot in the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, dear Lord, of running an agency and making almost over 300 videos on this YouTube channel dedicated to helping other people scale their agencies based on the lessons that I've learned in scaling an agency to now nearly $2 million a year in revenue. Okay, so let's dive into this number one way. And what is it, ladies and gents? It's very simple. It is reduce friction, okay? So what does this mean? Let me give you a real example of what reducing friction looks like. Let's use the sales process of our agency, okay? So sales process for people who want to start working with our agency is pretty straightforward. They go to our website and they fill out a free audit form, okay? FA, free audit. Then what they do in the process of filling this form is they also schedule in a call, okay? And then depending on how that call goes, they will either turn into a client or they won't turn into a client with us. So this is really the sales process within Better AMS. Now, this is a system, okay? And the output or the primary KPI of this system, if you look at it in this dimension, would be, converting leads into paid clients, right? Paying clients. So there is other facets and KPIs that we'd measure within this system, but this is the primary one. Okay. Now, how can we increase the throughput of this? Well, for example, a lot of people, this is the most common example I can give you, ask too many questions on their application form. Okay, so let's say that we're asking 10 questions on this form. And, on average, we get 5 applications a week. Okay, let's say that, for example, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we don't need to ask 10 questions. Let's try just asking 3 questions. Okay, and let's see what that does. Now, what are we doing here? We're reducing friction. What does that mean? We're making it easier for a prospect to go through this system, right? When you think of reducing friction, a really good example is just like, from a simplistic point of view, if you kick a ball, like the gravity itself is causing friction and it's slowing the ball down over time. The terrain that the ball is rolling across, if it's not smooth, the ball's going to slow down. And so essentially what you're doing is you're just smoothing out the terrain really, and adding more power behind whatever it is, the ball that you're kicking essentially, and just making it much easier. So a lot less friction to go through this process. Now let's say that in doing this, we see that our applications per week goes from 5 to 10. Okay, so great. Now we've increased from 5 to 10. We've increased the apps from 5 to 10 per week. And now what we're doing is we're doing 10 phone calls. And instead of converting, let's say 2 clients per week, now we're able to convert 4 clients per week. And so voila, we've been able to effectively optimize the system and increase the throughput of it by reducing friction. Okay, so this is just one example. Now you can look at any area of your business, any area of the agency, and look into the system and look at one of the core components within the system and ask yourself, where can I reduce friction? Now, something you want to keep in mind as you go on this journey of reducing friction is this concept of quality. And it's an important concept to consider, because if you do increase the lead through the lead flow from 5 to 10 per week, that's fantastic, but you still want to make sure that the quality is there. And sometimes reducing friction can have an adverse reaction to what you're trying to accomplish, right? So for example, maybe we increase the lead flow from 5 to 10, but the quality of the applications, maybe we used to get 5 MQLs and now we're actually getting 3 MQLs. MQLs is marketing qualified leads. And so it's basically just an MQL is, the marketing team has defined what a quality lead looks like, a qualified lead, sorry. And if the lead doesn't meet this criteria, it's not qualified. And so you would basically want to make sure that you're factoring in things like quality, and that's typically defined by things like an MQL, where you define the criteria of what a marketing qualified lead looks like. Because, like I said, there may be scenarios where you reduce friction, but because you did that, you've reduced quality, okay? And so again, when you're looking at optimizing a system, everything that you test is simply an experiment, right? When you go and make a change, it's an experiment. Don't assume that because you reduce friction that the throughput has to increase. It's not always the case. And funny, when you inverse this, if you increase the friction of a specific process, sometimes what results is greater qualified amounts of marketing qualified leads. For example, there's a lot of people out there who sell really expensive masterminds, and if you want to get into this mastermind, you have to fill out like this 20 question form, and it asks you a ton of information. And part of the reason why certain companies or people who run these masterminds do this is because if they made it really easy for people to apply for the mastermind, they would be getting on the phone with a lot of unqualified people, right? So these are some variables and things you need to think through when it comes to reducing friction, okay? And if you have some ideas on how you can reduce friction within a specific system in your business after watching this video that you're thinking of going to go and implement, let me know in the comment section below, and I would be more than happy to hear it. And last but not least, like I said, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out another video from the arsenal of almost over 300 videos that we now have on the channel, all dedicated to helping you start and scale an agency into this 7+ figure zone. And hopefully I'll be able to one day soon tell you the 8-figure zone, but we're currently not there yet. So ladies and gents, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you hit the like button, you do all 3 of those things, you're a super fan. Thank you so much. You're supporting the channel. It's the only thing I ask of you. Much love, everybody. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch another one that's extremely valuable, I just selected it for you, and you can check it out by clicking it right there on the other side of the screen across from my face. All right, friend, enjoy. Thanks for watching the channel.